Different church, what's up guys? Hold on, I'm giggly, I'm sorry. Okay. Different church, what's up guys? Different church, what's up guys? I hope you've had a great Thanksgiving. Really quick, will you guys do me a favor and go share this? We're able to reach so many people just from that share button alone. Also, if you don't follow us, go do that really fast so you can stay a part of everything that we're doing here at Different Church. Speaking of, we have Different Christmas coming up, and we are taking it way further than Nashville. We're going all the way to the country of Albania. So if you would like to be a part, please go to our website, dfrnt.church, hit that generosity tab, and just go to Different Christmas. By doing that, you're able to help us do everything that God's called us to do this Christmas. So thank you so much, and let's get into service.
Welcome. Hey, real quick, I want to shout out my YouTube campus, wherever you're watching from. You're on the treadmill, you're in your car going to work, wherever. What's up? How are you? And every single holiday, we do something different. On a holiday weekend, we not only stream on YouTube, but we come over to our Facebook location as well. So, shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook. Now, real quick, here's what I need you to do. If you're watching on Facebook, will you just comment where you're watching from? Maybe you're watching from Indiana, Illinois, California, wherever. We just comment where you're watching from. And hey, and we say it all the time on YouTube, but since we're over here, if you're watching on Facebook and you need something, that's what we're here to do. We don't care where you live. We will get you hooked up with whatever. Or maybe you just need prayer or something. Reach out, DM us. Let us know so we can be there for you and love on you. Now, I know you just heard it, but I just want to bring a little more insight to it. We're doing something this Christmas season called Different Christmas, okay? Where we're raising money to buy toys and gifts for 2 locations this year. We're doing it bigger than we ever have before. One, we're taking gifts to an organization in the Nashville area called Our Kids Center, okay? They work with kids and teenagers that are coming out of sexual abuse cases. And what better way for a therapist or a counselor to partner with a kid when they walk in and they're scared or they don't want to talk? What better way to break the ice than, hey, do you want to pick one of these toys out before you talk about something really trying? But they're bringing hope and they're bringing peace to these situations. So we want to come alongside them, hand them a toy so they're able to minister and love on these kids in a more effective way. But not only are we in Nashville serving, we're also we partner with some orphanages in Albania, and we're sending some missionaries at the end of December. We're sending some missionaries down there for 6 months. They're going to take Christmas gifts to the orphanages in the country of Albania, and which is exciting. Hey, which is exciting to me. I've never even been there, yet we get to make an impact there. And man, that just gets me so excited. And so if you want to be a part, and you want to give, you want to help us do that, all you have to do is go to our website, dfrnt.church, go to generosity, there's a tab, click under, and it'll say Different Christmas. You can give there. Or if you're like, man, I don't really mess with websites like that, all you have to do is Venmo us. Venmo at Different Church, and in the memo, however much you give, in the memo put Different Christmas, and anything that goes there will go to making this happen. Now, it is Thanksgiving, or it's just Thanksgiving just passed. There can be some awkward situations during Thanksgiving. And one, I just want to congratulate you, whoever you are. If you didn't get into a fist fight with one of your family members, or you didn't get locked up, you didn't get the cops called, congrats. You done good. That's a win. Listen, that's a win for me. And so if you haven't heard congratulations for just listening to Aunt Betty or your cousin bragging 24, whatever, congrats. I just want to say, hey, you're doing good. You're killing it. The holiday seasons are tough. And now there is this kind of thing where young people dread the holidays because when they sit down next to their grandpa, grandma, auntie, uncle, cousin, whoever, they get asked. So for me, we do what, 1, 2, 3, like 4 or 5 Thanksgivings in my family alone. And so I would imagine most people do 2 or 3 Thanksgivings, and they see the family members They see different family members at every Thanksgiving, so when they sit down, they're answering the same questions over and over and over. When are you going to get married? When are you going to finish school? You got a job yet? When are you guys going to have kids? And you've answered the question about 7 times every single dinner, and you've done 3 dinners. That's 21 times you've answered. Now, I'm not necessarily a young person. I'm not necessarily an old person, so I kind of want to be in the middle. One, young people, if you're tired of hearing that question, those questions, can I tell you one? They do it because they love you. They want to know. They want to care. Are they a little nosy? Yeah. But do they care about you? Do they love you? Do they want to know what you've got going on? Yes. So, yes, I know it's annoying. Yes, I know you don't like it, but hey, they care. Now, older people, older generation, you keep asking the same questions over and over and over and over again. A lot of times we don't have the answer. As a young person, a lot of times we don't have the answer. And that is hard. And sometimes that does breed insecurity in us, and we don't want to admit we don't know what we're doing after school, or that we're not dating, or that maybe we can't have kids, whatever. It makes us a little insecure. And so this season, just, hey, love people where they are. That's it. Love people where they are. And maybe this holiday season, holidays are supposed to be exciting, fun. You see family, da-da-da. Maybe this holiday season, though, there's going to be a seat at the table that someone doesn't show up to. Maybe you lost them this past year. You lost them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. Or maybe you're newly divorced. You're newly single. And it's weird. It's hard going to a dinner without your grandfather who passed away, your mom, your dad, whoever. And if you know my story, 11 years ago, I lost somebody really close to me. And I'd love to say, man, every year gets easier. And in some ways it does. It's still hard, though. It's still hard to know, like, man, I wish they were here. And if you're in this new season where you've lost somebody and you're in the holidays and it's supposed to be fun, but there's that thing in the back of your head like, man, I wish they were here. I wish they were here. It's okay. Because here's what I'll tell you. It's been 11 years. In the pain that you're in right now, in the pain that you're going through right now, God is doing something in you, whether you can see it or not. Whether you can see God moving, He's moving. We're not really called to see, we're called to trust. And in the season where you're like, man, it's dark, I don't know, the holidays are supposed to be fun, I'm not having fun, I'm not enjoying it. No, God's doing something on the other end of this. And that's what will get you through. And we're in a series, we're in the last part of our series called Triggered before we get into our Christmas series. We're in a series called Triggered, where we've kind of walked through things that the Bible says that I don't really like, about politics, about money. Now we're talking about what happens, listen, what happens when the miracle doesn't come, the breakthrough doesn't come. I started serving in church and my marriage still isn't better. I started giving and tithing and financially I'm not doing any better. I thought it would be better than this. What happens? Because a lot of people sign up for Christianity and they just think right when I start serving, the heavens open up. Like, people just assume because I'm a pastor, I just like levitate out of bed right to my Bible and the Bible reads it to me. I don't have to discipline myself, and I just love reading the Bible every single day and I'm just always praying 24. No, it's hard. It's hard. What happens when you signed up for something that you didn't know? You ever signed up for like a workout class? You thought it'd be fun, you thought it'd be cute, like, oh, we're gonna do yoga. And then you start doing yoga and you're like, oh snap, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. This is miserable. Or you're like, man, I'm gonna get a personal trainer. And you get that personal trainer and they just destroy you every single second of your life. And you're like, I didn't sign up for it. Same way. When we hop into Christianity, when we hop into, I'm gonna start serving, I'm gonna start giving, I'm gonna start praying, I'm gonna start reading, a lot of times you bite off a little more than you can chew. But if you have a Bible, you turn to James 1. James 1 verse 2, because James talks to the church and tells us something that's so vital, so important for my everyday walk, for your everyday walk in life. James 1 verse 2, look at what he says. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So what? Verse 4, so let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete. Last two words, needing nothing. Verse 2, dear brothers and sisters, James talking to the church. He's talking to me. He's talking to you. He's saying, hey, guys. What does he say? When trouble of any kind comes your way. He's not just talking about church drama. He's talking about family drama, relationship drama, money drama, marriage drama, kid drama. He's talking about everything. When troubles of any kind come your way. And can I be honest with you? I signed up for Christianity to look good, to look cute, to walk through everything smiling 24/7. But can I tell you, that's not always what happens. I'm walking through storms almost every single day, but this is an opportunity. When you walk through something hard, it's an opportunity for you to lean into who God is and say, God, I don't know what you're doing. I can't see what you're doing, but I'm going to trust that you're doing more than I could ever do with my life. When trouble of any kind comes your way. We walk through it, don't we? If you're like me, you walk through it. You go through it. You thought if I drop this money in the bucket, all of my money problems are going away. It doesn't work like that, does it? It's almost like God allows the storm to happen, the trial to happen, the pain to happen to progress you, to grow you, to do something different. But we try to dodge the pain. We try to dodge everything. Hey, I don't want to get into the storm. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And God's saying, no. I've got you here for a reason. I've got you right here in the middle of this storm for a reason. You're going to do something great on the other end of it. You've just got to make it through it. But I see more people leave the faith, leave the church, stop praying, stop reading, stop worshiping. Not because of what God did, hear me, not because of what God did, but what they thought God didn't do. Well, I got into church, I thought my husband would stop talking to me like this. I got into church, I thought my kids would come back. I started giving, I thought money, I thought I'd get a raise, whatever. And they go, I'm out. I've been doing this for 11 years, been in church for 11 years. You know how many people I see hop in and go, Tyler, I'm in. I love the worship. I love praying. I love reading. I love doing all of it. And then we meet one time and we pray together. Life's hard. They're going through it. It hurts. And then I don't see them again. Not that they're a bad person. I just think, well, we have to ask ourselves, and you have to ask yourself, do you love God more than you hate the storm you're in right now? Because if you ask me, dude, I've been through it. But I love God. He's been there for me. I've seen him be there for me. I've seen him miracle after miracle after miracle, breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. So yeah, I hurt right now, but I love my God even more. And I have to ask myself, do I love God more than I hate the storm I'm in right now? And for me, the answer is yes. I don't know about you. I remember this one time. So I don't really look like a golfer, okay? But I wanted to take up golfing. All the pastors were golfing and they look really cool doing this. I was like, man, I want to go golfing. So I go out there and I get the rental clubs and I'm just like at the driving range, right? And I hit my first ball, boom, and it just like hits a squirrel. It's terrible. And the guy looks at me and says, hey, by the way, I hope you know, you're going to get worse at golfing before you get better. Now, my only experience with like sports is either basketball, baseball, or football. That's it. So I know if I shoot a jump shot, the more jump shots I shoot, I'll get better. You don't really get worse at shooting. I think you only get better. So I like really didn't believe him. So the first day, like I'm shanking them. They're going to the left, to the right, hitting windshields, all that. But I'm like, oh, I'm going to come back the next day, and my form's probably a little bit better, right? I get out there the next day, like the rest of the week. I think I went like every day that week. I got so bad, dude. I was the worst. Like, it got worse and worse and worse. And so I quit. I gave up. I'm not going to golf if I'm not good at it. That's when I realized I didn't love golf enough to fail in it. I didn't love golf enough to suffer. I didn't love golf enough to fail. And in seasons where you don't see God showing up, you've got to ask yourself, but do I love him enough to walk through something I don't see the end to? Because my marriage, hear me, my marriage isn't perfect. So when we walk through something hard, I love my wife more than I hate the situation I'm walking through. In the same way, when I don't see God showing up or when times get hard, I love God more than I hate the hard times that I'm walking through. And that's what gets me through the every single day that I don't see him showing up. Because I know he's going to make something happen. I know he's going to move because I've seen him do it before and I love him anyway. But we just bail whenever we don't see it show up. And we really do have to ask ourselves, do I love him enough to walk through this hard time? Because it gets hard. Look at what he says. Dear brothers and sisters, when trouble of any kind comes your way, what does he say to do? Consider it an opportunity for great joy. That's the worst advice I've ever heard in my life. You get hit by a bus, smile anyways. You go bankrupt, smile anyways. You go through a divorce, smile anyways. When you go through a hard time, consider it joy. Actually, he doesn't say that. He says, consider it a great joy. Consider it a great joy. When you get to walk through something. You know why I think he says consider it joy? Because he knows, and he's about to tell us, you walk through it because you know God's doing something in you. And right now, you're walking through something. Maybe you're in the car right now, but you're walking through something really hard at home. Consider it a joy because God's doing something in you. God's doing something greater inside of you. You've just got to trust him. Consider it joy. Because here it says, consider it an opportunity. You don't get to choose whether you walk through trials or don't walk through trials. You get to choose whether you grow or you stay stagnant in the trials. That's it. That's your choice. Do I grow or do I stay stagnant? I can't choose to walk through the trial, walk through the storm or not. I've got to choose. Am I going to draw and lean closer into Jesus, or am I going to bail this ship and just suffer through this storm? That's the choice you get. It's not like your parents, whenever you were born, the doctor went over, or God looked over at him and said, hey, you want this kid to have the easy, medium, normal, or hard game. It's not like a video game, right? Like easy, normal, or hard, and your parent just went, hard. I want them to suffer. Hard. No, we're all on this earth. We're all going through something. We just get to choose, do I seize this opportunity? Do I? Because every single day, you're going to have the choice. You're going to have an opportunity to consider it joy and to grow through something. You ever went to the gym? You ever had a New Year's resolution or something and you're like, man, I'm going to go to the gym. And you know those days where you just don't want to go to the gym, but you go anyway. So you show up, or maybe you don't want to, you said, I'm going to run, and you don't want to run. You show up on those days. You don't drink pre-workout. You don't hype yourself up. You don't get ready. You don't do it. You just show up. You do a couple lifts. You walk on the treadmill or maybe jog for a mile, and you leave. And here's what I usually say whenever I go through that. At least I made it in. At least I'm here. Yes, you were there. But now, compared to the times when you drink your pre-workout, you've got your playlist in, you do the extra reps, you do the extra curls, you do the extra mile, you're grinding, you leave the gym. What do you say? Dang, I feel good. Listen, you went to the gym both times. You worked out both times. One, you were more prepared and you seized the opportunity. Thus what? You grew more in here, not over there. Still in the gym, still working out. One, you experienced more growth because you seized it. You were ready for it. He says, consider it an opportunity to grab for great joy. So you've got to look at the season you're in right now, wherever you are. You've got to look at the season you're in, and you've got to say, I'm going to smile. I'm going to walk through this. I'm going to smile. I'm going to walk through this. Because God's doing something. You know He's doing something. Dear brothers and sisters, verse 2. When troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. Verse 3. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. You know that when you're pushed to the brink, that's when something miraculous happens. That's when you're forced to grow. Don't be mad. Don't get hurt by it. No, hey, something's about to happen. But I've got to walk through this. Consider it joy. I mean, it's no different. I don't know if you know, for a muscle to grow, it has to be damaged. So when you're lifting and you're curling and you're working and you're growing, there's that moment where you go, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do anymore. That's the point where you've got to keep going. Why? This is what produces growth. In the pain, when you go, I can't do it anymore, that's where progress happens, in the pain. But we put the weight down and we go, no, I'm done. I don't want to go through this anymore. And that's why you don't see growth in your life. When you walk with God, there will be a time where you're growing and you're grinding and you're like, God, this hurts. Why am I going through this financially? Why am I going through this in my marriage? But at the end of it, after you're done, after the damage has been had, that's when you'll see growth like you never have before. But it requires, listen, I got to do the other arm because it hurts. That's why He says, keep going. Keep going. It hurts? Good. It hurts? Good. Keep lifting. Keep lifting. It's going to heal. You're going to be stronger for it. You're going to do, something's going to happen. You're going to grow like you never have before. There is pain. Listen, there is pain in the progress. Or there's progress in the pain. I promise. That's how muscles develop. In the same way, that's how your faith is developed. That's how your peace is developed. That's how your mercy is developed. That's how your endurance is developed. All because you decided, I'm going to keep going whether this hurts me or not. But you have to make the choice, am I going to get out of this chair? At what point am I going to stop lifting because it hurts too bad? And that's a hard question to ask. Because it hurts. Bro, just doing that, it hurts. I think God's doing something in me. Even when it hurts, even when I feel damaged, even when I feel broken, God's doing something. He's growing something in me. Verse 3, for you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. What does it say? Verse 4, so let it grow. Let it grow. Why? For when your endurance is fully developed, after you've went through the pain, after you've went through the hurt, after you've went through the struggle, for when your endurance is fully developed, what? You will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. When you go through pain, when you go through trial, you don't need anything. Why? You've seen the person, you've seen God show up in your life and do what no one said He could do. So I don't need nothing. You know why? I've seen God show up with everything. That's why I don't need anything. I'm struggling financially? Cool. God will show up. I'm struggling in my marriage, or I'm struggling being single. Cool. God will show up. He always has. I don't need anything. Why? I've seen Him show up a million times. He's going to show up again. He's going to show up again. How do I get to this point, though? How do I get to this point? The pain. The pain. That's it. That's how I make it through it. Verse 4, and we're done. So let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you'll be perfect and complete, needing nothing. In these seasons, we don't need, I hear it all the time, man, I went through this season so I could discover who I was. No, you don't need that. I don't need to discover more of who Tyler is. Tyler can't do anything. I'm the one that got myself into this storm to begin with. No, I go through this to discover who Jesus is. I don't need self-discovery. I need to discover who created myself. That's what I need. Man, and I don't know if you've ever been there, and if you have, maybe you shout, maybe you start jumping, maybe you say hallelujah, whatever. I've been in the hospital room, dude. I've been having $2 in my bank account and a bill comes out, and now I have negative $98.72. I've been there. But I've seen what God can do. So I don't need anything else. All I have is Him, and that's all I need. But man, that's hard. You've got to walk through it. And maybe you're in that season. I don't know where you are, who you are, what you're doing, how you got here. I have no idea. But you've been walking through it for a long time. You've put the weight down a lot. Maybe you hopped out of church. Maybe you hopped out of praying. You haven't prayed in weeks. You haven't prayed in months. You haven't read the Bible in years, whatever. Can I tell you, pick it back up. Pick the weight back up. Start lifting again. Grow again. God's got more for you. And if you believe that, say amen. God's got more for you right now. But it's an opportunity for you. And so that's why I want to pray for you. I want to pray that you'd make a decision right now. The pain hurts, but I love God more. The trial's hard, but I love God more. And that you'll keep walking into who God called you to be. Jesus, we love you. We know you're doing something. We know you're growing us. We know you're changing something in us, but allow for us to seize every opportunity, every painful situation, every trial, every storm. We would seize that and say, God, you're doing something in me. And I want to become everything you created me to be. And that will require me to walk through a hard time. That will require me to walk through a dark season, a dark situation. And God, there's someone on the other side of this, God, that they don't know how they're going to make it through, that you would remind them that you brought them through something way worse than this years ago. That they would have faith that you're going to bring them through it today. Jesus, we love you. We thank you. We praise you. Sharon, we pray, and everybody said, amen. For Christmas this year, we want to do something bigger than we ever have before. So we're doing different Christmas, but this year, not only are we partnering with Our Kids Center in Nashville that helps kids and teenagers that have been in sexual abuse cases, not only are we blessing them, we also want to go overseas. We're going to be partnering with some orphanages in the country of Albania, taking them Christmas gifts. So if you want to be a part of different Christmas this year, all you have to do is go to our website, dfrnt.church, and go to the generosity tab, and you can go to give, and then it'll say different Christmas, give there. That'll be able to help us partner. But if you want to be even simpler than that, go to Venmo. Just Venmo at Different Church, however much money you want to give. And then in the memo, just put Different Christmas. But we want to change the world this Christmas. And I think that He'll also change your life as well. That thing's crazy.